Yo, y'all heard the Tre Hendrix intro music. Y'all know what time it is, you feel me? Your boy Tre Hendrix here with another reaction. I'm sorry, y'all. I was, a little busy last week, and I know I was talking. I'm like, my schedule changed. I'm gonna upload as much as I can. My bad, y'all. Y'all need to forgive me real quick, you know what I mean? But I'm back on it. I don't know what day y'all gonna see this, either on Monday or Tuesday. But whatever day it is, I hope y'all having a good day. You feel me? This one I'm about to react to is for my Toronto boys. You Toronto boys, you know what I mean? Y'all be on my bumper. But I got y'all. I'm gonna react to a Savages from the Six. Y'all love those. And I'm not gonna lie, I like them too. Like I be wanting to watch them on my own time, but I'm like, you know what? Let me wait for a day. I got time that I can react to it. Y'all get the live reaction. You feel me? So before we get into it, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we gonna do it. I believe this is a Mind Soul 6 video, right? This nigga low-key sponsoring my channel. He don't even know it. Yeah, this is a Mind Soul 6 video. So we'll get into it. Wassi, I have no idea. Is that I want to say that's not a single person, it's an actual group, but I'm not 1000% sure. People tell me like, yo, you gotta watch this video to understand this song and all that, you know what I mean? So we gonna get into it. I'm talking a little too much for an already long video. Let's get it.
My niggas super sad, we be wash gang. All you niggas wash up, y'all be wash gang.
So if you're a fan of Toronto rap, then you've heard songs by artists like Pressa, Burner Bands, Robin Banks, Houdini, and others.
Okay, I reacted to like every single one of them. Robin Banks, Houdini, Pressa, Burner Bands, and Houdini on that late night joint. I'm already hip, Mind Soul 6. Come on
They've just
now.
been making a lot of noise in the music scene. Then you've probably heard of Wassi Gang, which is basically the biggest group out of Driftwood at the moment. Most people know the name of the gang derives from a person with an interesting story. So today, on Savages from the...
Hey, y'all, hold up. Let me see if I could... Ooh, let me see if I could turn this up just a little bit.
Quasi Peters, also known as Wassi. So there's no question that Wassi was well respected amongst his friends, enough to have a whole gang named after him, and for his friends to spend thousands of dollars having his face custom-made into pendants for their chains.
Damn.
It's clear that he had credit and was well liked within it.
You must be that dude if your homies are putting your whole face on a chain. That's crazy.
His gang. That being said, let's get into the documented history of Wassi.
He's like the Toronto version of Tookie.
So like many tales from Toronto, our story starts in the dangerous area of Driftwood, where Wassi grew up. He and a now popular rapper who goes by Pressa were friends from when they were little kids. Sadly, it was clear what path Wassi was headed down from a young age, with his mother saying that he was getting into trouble with the law since he was 13 years old. Not only that, but in an interview with Vlad TV, Pressa actually gives a detailed glimpse into something gruesome that Wassi saw when he was a kid.
My best friend Wassi, he seen somebody like basically there's a guy, he got shot on on our neighborhood like plaza. The guy ran to like our bridge. He walked over the bridge and he seen the guy die. He's dead on the bridge, and he's just a little kid. Like he was probably just like...
Nah, real talk though, like on some real shit, like growing up like in the streets or anywhere where that shit is almost regular. You see shootings, you see killings, you see stabbings and shit. You feel me? Like people will talk people talk about PTSD. They usually talk about like people who go off the war, the military, whatever, and come back and shit. You know what I mean? But what about the people who experience like traumatic events here? People don't think about that. Like in some of these neighborhoods, I'm assuming Driftwood probably one of them. Like this shit's like a real life war zone. You feel me? But people don't think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like kids like as young as whatever age could be traumatized. Like I couldn't imagine if I haven't even seen I'm 25 years old. I haven't seen a dead body like in person like that. Or like I haven't seen like, I don't want to say a dead body. I haven't seen someone get killed in front of me. And I'm 25. So if I were to see that, that would fuck me up in the head. So imagine if you young and impressionable. You feel me? Like, that's just fucked up, man.
I don't know, like 10 or 11, right? So he was just like 2 years older than me at this time. So he walked and he's like, fuck, you know, like that's a lot for a kid to see him, like a guy dead on the floor, you know? And then that guy, he was never, even my teacher said like Quasi would never be the same after that, you know? So,
Yeah, Pressa ain't wrong.
Seeing something that grotesque as a child is bound to have some type of effect on a growing mind. Wassi spent several years of his early teen life in and out of the juvenile detention system. When he was 16, while he was locked at Roy McMurtry Youth Center in Brampton, Wassi was the subject of a news report named From the Margins, Building Curriculum for Youth in Transition. In an interview, Wassi talks with a reporter about how being caught in the system as a young offender has turned him into a quote-unquote monster, and that every day he is fighting for his life. It seems like he had a rough time in this prison, and he continues to detail his experiences and talks more.
See, we need to focus more. Okay, I didn't mean to stop it, but we need to focus more on. I don't know how the Canadian prison system works either, so I could be wrong. But at least here in the States, like it's not so much about rehabilitation as it is just to punish you. You feel me? And that's why, what's the word, recidivism or whatever, when they leave the prison and then they go back in because they commit another crime. Like, why do you think that rate's so fucking high? Because they're not focusing on the rehabilitation. You feel me? They're just focusing on punishment. They don't lock you in a cell for 23 hours for 5 years, 10 years, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Instead of giving people tools to better themselves. You know what I mean? Come on now. That's why you just go out of prison being a better criminal. You feel? Come on, man.
More about the mindset of a youth offender in this report. Now we go back a few years before the interview. While still in the youth center, Wassi's neighborhood Driftwood and his alleged gang were under scrutiny by the police. They had been organizing a sting, dubbed Project Marvel, targeting an alleged gang in the Jane and Finch
Okay, I remember
area
that.
called the Young Buck Killers. Ranging from locations in Toronto to Surrey, BC, the police executed multiple raids and ended up seizing almost 30 guns and over $110,000 in cash.
God damn.
Over 400 charges were laid against 60 suspects, one of those being Wassi. Even though he was locked up at the time, he was still charged for his connection with the gang.
Come
Being
on.
tied to this police project, as well as seeing someone die at a young age, is what drew reporters and journalists to Wassi. So now we go forward in time again, to a few months after the interview. Wassi's charges in connection to Project Marvel stick, but he manages to be granted bail and he is released. He would then go on to enjoy his freedom for a short couple of years before being arrested on weapons charges a short time after his 18th birthday.
Well, damn, so he already in a gang, got like ride or die niggas ready to ride for him and shit. He barely 18? That's crazy. He must have been respected in his neighborhood. He definitely was.
Now it's not clear when he got back to the
Come
jail
on.
for his charges, but he was last documented being locked up in late 2013. He ended up being released at some point after. So now things become heinous in the story. We're brought to the morning of June 28th, 2015. Police were called to a condo at 36 Lisgar Street, around Queen Street and Dovercourt Road, after a frantic call reported several gunshots being fired. When emergency crews arrived, they found two men deceased in the unit on the 22nd floor, suffering from obvious trauma. They would later be identified as Abdiweli Abdullahi and Muhammad Diri, both aged 26. There was one woman in the unit at the time who actually climbed over the balcony and onto the neighbor's balcony to try to escape the shooting. Now, this woman wasn't cooperating with police, but their investigation still came up with two suspects.
Okay, I'm waiting for like where the Wassi connection is. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting. I'm looking. I'm like, all right, Lord, what do he got to do with any of this? You feel me? Come on.
23-year-old Kamal Hassan and Kwasi Peters were
Damn
named
it.
as the suspects, and the police issued warrants and put out wanted posters for their arrest. Less than a week after the double murder, Kamal Hassan voluntarily turned himself into police. Wassi, on the other hand, was nowhere
Yo,
to
is
be
that the
found.
video or am I getting Discord notifications? I think I am. Hold up. My bad, y'all. God, I didn't think I would have to do all this. Let's see. We'll have to make 2 edits. Okay, I think that's his. Huh?
Issued warrants and put out wanted posters for their arrest. Less than a week after the double murder, Kamal Hassan voluntarily turned himself into police. Wassi, on the other hand,
Okay, that's his
was nowhere to
thing.
be found.
Come on, Mind
and
Soul
considered
6.
to be on the run at this point. There's even surveillance video of Kamal and Wassi in an elevator at a different building shortly after the murders. Kamal is seen reenacting what just went down, almost emotionless to the fact that 2 people were just brutally murdered. Now, while Kamal was in police custody, they had turned their focus on finding Wassi. This search would last for almost a month before they found.
Oh, you Canada niggas love to be on the run. It's like I feel like every video I watch, like, damn, this nigga on the run from the Canadian, like, and they be on the run for a minute. You Toronto boys, man, y'all slick.
We found him. So now we're taken to the early hours of July 25th, 2015, to a nightclub that's near Peter Street and Adelaide Street West. Police located Wassi, and they knew he was in the club. Uniformed and undercover officers staked outside the building and waited for him to come out. Once Wassi was outside, they surveilled him and watched as he walked through the parking lot and got into his car. This is when the police were ready to make the arrest. A bunch of cruisers swarmed in and blocked off the entrance of the parking lot. A few officers on bikes close in, and there's no sound but there's shooting going on between the cops and Wassi. You can see officers ducking for cover behind cars. Then you can see Wassi, in a gray sweatshirt, run towards the street but trips and falls and lands in front of the cruiser, where he's subdued.
No, you don't go out like that, God. And you ain't gonna see the outside. You shooting at the police? Yeah, nah.
Aftermath was over 30 shots being exchanged, with police saying that Wassi fired the first of 7 shots inside his car through the windshield. Out of all those shots fired, he was only struck with a single bullet to his chest. He was quickly rushed to the hospital, but died a short time after. Now, after his death,
I didn't know that.
the co-accused in the case, Kamal, began to explain what happened to police. He claimed that it was solely Wassi who shot the 2 men in the Lisgar condo, and he...
Oh yeah, that's what you gonna say, especially if he already dead. Then yeah, it was his idea. You know what I mean? Like he did both everything. I was just, I was scared. Come on.
Played no part in the murders. He said he feared Wassi and stuck by him after the shooting because he didn't know what he might do. During his trial, which was 4 years later, in March of 2019, Kamal also claimed that the footage of him in the elevator reenacting the murders was actually just a ploy to make Wassi think that he wouldn't snitch on him. With the co-accused Wassi having died, it seems like it was an easy case for a defense lawyer. Seemingly, the aftermath of the trial was Kamal being found not guilty on all charges. He was acquitted and effectively beat the case.
Yeah, Kamal, you gotta move out. You gotta move Vancouver or something after that shit. You know what I mean? Because even though you snitched on the dead man's name, you still kind of snitched. So you gotta go before some nigga take you out.
No one knows why exactly Wassi decided to shoot at the officers. We can only speculate. All of the officers involved were cleared of any wrongdoing after the police dashcam footage surfaced. It seems like Quasi had a rough life, and honestly it's a sad end to his story. But he continues to live on through Was Gang and through their music. All we can say for now is rest in peace.
Yo, R.I.P. Wassi. Okay. Damn. I did not expect it to end like that. I thought he was just locked up or something. I did not know he passed away, you feel me? But it kind of goes to show what I was saying earlier, you know what I mean? There's shit that happened in your childhood that affects you to this day as a grown adult. Like, seeing a dead body, seeing someone get killed, that's going to affect you, you know what I mean? Being sent to juvenile detention or prison or jail, that's going to affect you a certain way, you feel me? I don't know, I think we just, as a whole, just downplay how much our environment has to do with where we are, you feel me? Like, I grew up in Orange County, California, Anaheim, California. if I grew up somewhere in LA, like, you know what I mean, South Central or somewhere, you know what I mean, or Watts, oh, I'll definitely be a different person. You know what I mean? Like, so that's just it is what it is, you feel me? But hey, you Toronto boys, thank you for, you know, giving me this little Toronto education. This is like Toronto 101 or some shit, you feel me? But anyway, thank y'all for the love and support. Like I said, I'm gonna get back to it with these reactions, man. I'm sorry I've been lagging. I'm sorry, but we gonna get right. Your boy Tre Hendrix, thank you. I'm out.